It's time to put my gladiolus away for the winter, and I'm taking advantage of an unseasonably warm day here where I can take care of my dried bulbs and get them put away. I want to show you what my process looks like. A little over a month ago, we had a really warm day for the fall, and I wanted to get my gladiolus out of the ground before the first frost. I remember doing this with my grandfather when I was a child. I thought it was such a silly exercise. Why don't we just leave them in there? And he would say, well, you got to bring them in to make sure that they're healthier and happier the next year. Where I live, they don't winter over, so that means we have to bring them inside. So I pulled them out a little over a month ago, and I just laid them on some trays here in my greenhouse so that they could dry out. Now, when you dig them up, you may find that they developed these little cormlets all over the bottom, and you can keep them on there if you like, or you can remove them and start them again as a new plant for next year. I'm going to remove some and leave some. They won't produce flowers next year, but they will grow into a plant. So you can start a nursery, and then you'll have them for the following year. And I'm just knocking away the majority of the loose dirt because I don't want any moisture to hold against them, because that's where mold will grow. Now, some of them will have a larger corm attached to the bottom. So here's the regular full-size corm that grew this year, and then it developed a larger one at the bottom. Your decision. You can leave it on there and have a plant that's twice as big, or you can separate it and get started with a new one. This probably will develop into a flower because it's a little larger. I'm going to leave this one. This one's a little smaller. I'm going to remove him. Now, my favorite way to store my bulbs is to use a mesh bag. This is just a mesh produce bag, and I like to use clean wood chips like this. I got these at Tractor Supply. It's the same thing I put in my brooder for my baby chicks, and I just like to put some in here and then layer the bulbs in on top. You can keep these ideally indoors, somewhere dry. My basement is perfect for it. They're actually going to hang in my canning room because it's not heated. The wood stove is on the other side of the basement, so they should stay nice and dry down there, and just kind of the perfect dormant temperature. Hang them somewhere rather than having them sit because moisture will develop underneath. So we're going to take them to the basement, we're going to hang them up, and we're going to go get them in the spring. I like to mark everything with a tag because just when I think I'm going to remember it year to year, I sometimes forget.